how resilience is not about keeping it together all the time and just pushing through everything. I remember being a kid and you would fall and the gym teacher would be like, get up, you're fine, keep moving, keep running, and things like that. And I think sometimes we apply that to life, and we think that when things happen, when we are faced with different difficult challenges, we just kind of keep moving. We don't really acknowledge them, we don't really address them, we don't cry, because God forbid anyone sees us cry, and we just keep moving and say, we're okay. Anyone asks, how are you doing? I'm okay, I'm good. And you just keep moving when on the inside you were torn apart. So I want to talk about my last year. On New Year's 2018, I went to a party with my friends, and one of my close friends, he fell down the stairs, got a concussion, and we ended up at the hospital, spent the whole night there. And that's the way my New Year started, 2018. Yeah, it's not the greatest. 19 days later, I was driving home from school, and I got into a car crash on the highway. Yeah, later on that night, I'd been with somebody for almost 3 years, and he broke up with me. That was all on my 19th birthday. So January wasn't all that great. And then 3 months later, I failed a class for the first time in my life. And if anyone knows me, they know that is a big deal. So 2018 really started off difficult. And all my life I used to hear, oh, you're so strong, you're so resilient. So anything would happen and I would just brush it off. I'm good, I'm strong. But then after my ex broke up with me, I realized, or I felt more like, that I wasn't strong, I wasn't okay, and I didn't know how to keep going on. So I knew that I could do it, but I didn't know how, so I started to explore, how do you become resilient? How do you keep going after all these bad things happen? And I think the first thing that I came up with was, you really have to face how you feel. So I really had to deal with the fact that I was feeling grief. Losing somebody that is like your whole support system, you really feel like you lost a part of you, you lost a part of your life, in every aspect of your life. So I had to deal with grief, and nobody taught you how to do that. Nobody taught you to, everyone just says, oh, he wasn't good for you anyways, or oh, like this and that, but you love that person. And I think this doesn't just apply to a relationship that's romantic, it applies to your family or a friend you lose, or honestly, any event, the job you really wanted, like shit happens and you just, people tell you to keep moving because it's just one thing, but you never really deal with it. So I think you really have to deal with that emotion and tell yourself, hey, this sucks and I'm sad. Feeling very sad right now, and you let yourself feel sad, whether that means you cry it out, you lay in bed and watch Vampire Diaries for 13 days straight, like, whatever you need to do, right? You do it. And then once you allow yourself to feel that I'm sad, I am lonely, I'm whatever I'm feeling emotion, then that space in your heart and in your body opens up for other emotions, because it's not going to be okay right away. Like, that's the story, right? Like, you can be as resilient as you want to be, but that doesn't mean that things are going to stop happening to you. That doesn't mean that you're not going to see your ex at the gym and like your heart drops and you're like, I don't know what to do now. You look at them and you say, okay, right now I'm not okay. I'm going to go to the washroom, I'm going to take a couple of deep breaths. I'm going to tell myself I'm feeling sad, but I'm not sad, because there's a whole another part of me that's different than me feeling sad. I know how to feel happy. I know how to feel all these other emotions, but right now I'm allowing myself to feel this way. So I think that's the first part. And then the second part is, once that space has opened up, then you look for other parts of you, right? Because yes, this event happened. You cannot do anything to change it, so you gotta keep moving, right? So what do you do to keep moving? You look for other things. For me, it was spontaneously booking a trip to Guatemala where I would lay with 10 people every night in the same room for 15 nights that I didn't know. And now those 10 people are good friends of mine, and those 15 nights in that rural Guatemalan village really showed me the world again, showed me there's so much beyond these events that really affect you, but like, you're still there, you know? So that really helped me, but you don't have to go to the other end of the world to see that. You just make a funny joke in a getting a coffee line, and somebody looks at you weird and they laugh, but like, you know, you connected. So that's all you need, is that little moment of connection, and to see that there's people around you and you're not alone, right? So as I said, I failed a class. What actually felt like was going to happen in that semester was I was going to fail all my classes, 14 nights. And Vampire Diaries don't go well with 4 academic classes. So I remember going to my philosophy professor's office hours, and I remember sitting there for 30 minutes and bawling my eyes out. Not even saying anything, because how can you talk when you're just like, right? So I'm sitting there, I'm bawling my eyes out, I'm like, I cannot do this assignment, I'm so sorry. And she was like, this is life, you're going through something, and that's okay. Take as much time as you need, and when you're ready, head to that assignment. So I didn't fail her class, and I didn't fail one of my other classes. I did fail that third one because my professor wasn't understanding. But so I think the point of that is that there's a lot of people around you who will understand, so use those people. Talk to your professors, talk to your supervisors, because even though this happened to you, life keeps going on. And if you don't tell somebody about it, it will keep going on. It won't stop. So you can slow it down a little bit, right? Talk to somebody, let them know what's going on, and maybe they can take something off your hands and you can do what you need to do. You can feel that sad emotion and deal with it. I also like that Zuri talked about masculinity, and I think men, I remember talking to my ex after we broke up, and nobody even asked him how he was, and he never talked about how he was because, well, you just shrug it off, right? So you move on to the next girl, you do whatever. And I think, guys need to deal with their feelings too. So the guys in the room, don't be ashamed to just sit with that bucket of ice cream, cry, and watch Vampire Diaries too, okay? Because you gotta feel, right? So that's the first 2 parts, is to allow yourself to feel that emotion and then explore other parts of you. And then I think the third and most important is you just keep going, right? No matter what happens, you get up or you crawl or you barely scratch your hands, but you keep moving forward, because you're going to be okay. Maybe not right now, maybe not in 10 days, maybe not in a year, but with the right support, the right amount of time, you will survive this, and you will come out of it a better person in one way or another, because you learn from everything you do. That's my speech. Thanks for listening. I do have a video, so if you can cue that up.
In 2014, I miscarried my second baby, my dad died, and my husband died, and that all happened in the span of 6 weeks. So if you are going through something shitty, here are the things that I want you to know. I had made for myself the loneliest prison that I possibly could out of the word fine. I told the people around me who wanted to be there for me, who wanted to help me, that I was fine, and they believed me. Everybody is so uncomfortable with discomfort. That's why I told people I was fine. Sometimes when you ask me how I am, the answer is fine, and sometimes you ask me how I am, and I will cry for a while, and you will be like, ma'am, you need to leave because this is the express lane at Target. Be okay not being okay. And then make everyone else around you be okay with you not being okay. You woke up today, you got dressed, you're doing plenty, you're doing fine. The first thing I did after my dad died was call my friend whose dad had died when we were 27 and say, I'm so sorry that I failed you as a friend. And I did everything technically I was supposed to. I went to the funeral and I think I made him a hot dish or something. And then I never brought his dad up again. The worst thing people do to me is pretend that Aaron never existed. And the best thing possible is when I hear somebody else say his name. I will always be so sad that I don't have Aaron, even though I'm in love with my new life. I will always have both of these things. We love a sad story if it also comes with a triumph. We want people to take their lemons and make them into lemonade. Sometimes life doesn't even hand you lemons, it just hits you with them repeatedly. And it's okay to just be like, that sucks, this is the worst. These are the worst lemons I've ever tasted. Maybe the standard for suffering isn't that you become the very best at it, that you turn it into some hot fire Instagram content. Maybe it's just that you survive it today. Okay? If you're going through hell, you have to do nothing else except go through it.
I'll just leave you with this quote. I'm not what happened to me, I am what I choose to be. So you choose what you want to be, okay?